beyond that, I just don't have more to share.
Okay, and then on the World Central Kitchen strike, has Israel reached out to you to assure you that the weapons used to kill the World Central Kitchen aid workers were not provided by the U.S.?
So on that first, I think just it should be very clear that our hearts go out to those who lost their lives in that strike. These are humanitarian aid workers who are providing life-saving aid to Palestinians in Gaza. And the Israelis have taken responsibility for that strike. They are conducting an investigation. There have been conversations at different levels from the department with Israeli counterparts. I don't have more to share for you on the weapons that were used, but we are certainly engaging with the Israelis. As you know, the secretary regularly engages with Minister Gallant. I don't have a call to preview just yet, but when they do speak, I'm sure this will be something that comes up in conversation. But we certainly welcome that the Israelis have opened up an immediate investigation into the incident.
Does it change circumstances, particularly for the U.S. providing weapons, if it turns out that the weapons that were used to kill these aid workers were actually U.S. provided weapons, though?
Well, again, I'm not going to get ahead of the investigation that the Israelis are conducting. We've been very clear from the beginning, since the war started, since the Israelis conducted operations within Gaza, that they need to do everything possible to preserve innocent lives, Palestinian lives, the lives of humanitarian aid workers going in every single day, providing this type of care and service. And they need to uphold those humanitarian laws. And that's something that, you've seen in every single readout that we put out as well with the Secretary and Minister Gallant. So we're going to keep having those conversations. We're going to keep reiterating that.
Just last.
Sure.
Does this further complicate getting the pier constructed? Does it show just how potentially dangerous and deadly it could be for anyone that's going to distribute aid that comes into that pier?
Well, it's certainly something that we take into consideration when we're talking about our forces that are going in to set up the pier. Now, we have received assurances. The chairman spoke to this. You've seen other people across the administration also speak to this as well, that the Israelis have committed to providing some type of security for our forces, along with we expect other nations to also play a role in that. I don't have more to provide at this time, but there's no higher priority than the protection of our forces. That is something that the Secretary and the President take very seriously, and they will be protected when they begin to start setting up the JLOTs. Carla.